bismillahi raxmaani raxiim maanta waxaa farxad iyo sharaf weyn inoo ah inaan halkan kusoo bandhigayno bandhig carweed oo lagu soo bandhigayo sawiro ay soo sawireen dhalinyarada Soomaaliyeed ee dalka hooyo. Sawirkaana oo ay sawirtay Maryan waxay ku cabiraysaa iskuulka markay ka soo qnaa caruurta wiilka waxaa loo dirayaa inuu cayaaro, gabadhina waxaa la leeyahay shaqadii guriga qabo. marka waxay ku cabiraysaa xoogaa cadaalad ma aha. kanna sawirkan wuxuu cabirayaa wiil gadayo loos oo aan iskuul tagin iyo wiil kaloo iskuul tagayo. wiilkan wuxuu haminayaa inuu wiilkan camal noqdo oo iskuul aado, laakiin ma awoodo. waa wiil danyar ah oo hooyadii u shaqaynayo oo gadayo loos, laakiin wuxuu ka ciishoonaya wiilkan oo aabihiisa wado oo geynayo maxalla iskuulka. Garabeeshinka ka jiro shaqooyinka sida lagu helo dalka hooyo. labadan gabdhood jaamacadda isla kumaray dhameeyeen, laakiin gabadhan adeerkeedii ayaa bangiga usoo helay. gabadhan shaqo la'aan ayaa haysa, laakiin waxay shaqo ka bilowday meel shaah lagu gado maqaayad intii ay shaqo ka helayso oo temporary ahaan. marka sawiradan waxaa soo sawiray Najma oo loo yaqaan Nujum Arts. Najma waxay joogtaa dalka Spain. badanaa waxay u ololeysaa arrimaha haweenka iyo caruurta in la difaaco. Najma hadda sawirkan waxay ka wadaa gudniinka fircooniga ah. sawirkan waxay ka wadaa caraweelo ama maxaa la dhahaa awoodda gabdhaha. sawirkanna waxay ka wadaa in xaasaska aan la dilin, aan gacan loo qaadin. sawirkanna caruurta oo looga digayo bambada oo dhulka ku duugan. sawirkanna waxa waa reer danyar ah. sawirkanna waxay ku tusaysaa muqdishadii hore ayay ku tusaysaa. sawirkanna xaaladaha dadka soo barakacay iyo dad kale oo guryaha oo degan ayay ku cabiraysaa. Najma waa artiste oo ku sugan dalka Spain hadda. muqdisho ayay joogi jirtay, jaamacad ayay ka dhigataa. waa ayadoo shaqaysa oo jaamacadna dhigata ayay sawiradan noogu soo deeqday ay noo soo dirtay. insha Allah Najma waxaan leenahay mahadsanid for accepting our invitation and for giving us your valuable time. I know you have busy schedules, and when a person gives you his valuable time, it's like they gave you part of their life. And on behalf of Global Somali Diaspora, we are grateful for your valuable time. And this event, My Somali exhibition, the main aim is to encourage our youth to express themselves. And it's a great pleasure to have you. And without further ado, I want to welcome Dr. Mehmet, the director of Yunus Emre Institute. Can you please welcome with me Dr. Mehmet, inshallah ta'ala.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Excellencies, dear Deputy Prime Minister, the Education Minister, and all distinguished guests, I would like to warmly welcome you to the opening of this My Somali exhibition in the Yunus Emre Institute, London. It is a great pleasure for us to have you here tonight. And we have been working with Global Somali Diaspora since 2019, and we organized many events. We organized their annual congress in Istanbul and in London many times. We are very closely tied with this Somali diaspora in the UK, and I'm very grateful their support to Yunus Emre Institute at all time. This is your place, and that's why we had this great exhibition today. And as Bazi said, this is a real encouragement for the youth to engage in art and express themselves. And we have been giving opportunity for them to exhibit their artworks in London. This is a big achievement in their early life, especially because when you see the paintings on the right-hand side and left-hand side of the gallery, are the artworks of university students in Somalia. Imagine you are a young person at the early time of your career and having an exhibition in London. It's a great honor for them and big encouragement. I would like to thank for Bazi and his team, Global Somali Diaspora, and the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and the ministers attending this exhibition and honoring them and encouraging them for this creativity for a long time. I don't want to spend much time, and so thank you very much for attending, and especially we are very grateful to have the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Education in our building. It is an historic time for us as well. We are having a big delegation in our center, and you know, we have a center in Mogadishu, and very active center as well. I know you are supporting them. I know from Jawahir, we have very good relations, and I would like this to flourish further. Thank you very much for coming, and I'm very grateful to you.
Humility and integrity all together, plus being humorous. Please welcome with me His Excellency Osman Atef. Thank you.
Please. Actually, the show has to be over. You know, we heard from the most senior people among us. A warm salam to all of you. His Excellency, Mr. Minister, dear colleagues. We have Councillor Qasim with us, and dear sisters and brothers. I am also honored and pleased to have hosted through Yunus Emre this beautiful and meaningful event. The relationship between our two countries, as Mr. Deputy Prime Minister underlined, is above G2G or state to state. There are very strong ties between our two nations, and we are eager to continue these strong ties also in diaspora. As you might know, Turkey has a big diaspora abroad. We have more than 7 million Turkish citizens living mostly in Europe, and in the UK it's more than 500,000. And I know that Somali diaspora is getting stronger and stronger. So the relationship is also so vital here in London and elsewhere. So I'm grateful to Yunus Emre Institute, the flag bearer of our soft power, and many other institutions of doing joint collaborative work with Somali diaspora, and also their efforts also back in Somalia itself. Our hearts and minds are with Somalia and its brotherly people, and it will continue to be as such, and we wish all the best for the strength and sovereignty as well as prosperity of our brotherly nation. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for all of you taking the time. I would like first to give warm welcome our Somali Deputy Prime Minister, His Excellency Saleh Ahmed Jama, the Somali Ambassador to United Kingdom, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Hashi, the Turkish Ambassador to United Kingdom, His Excellency Osman Koray Artas, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much again for taking the time to, and coming us, also I would like to welcome warmly our Minister of Education, Farah, sorry, Somalida waxay dhahaan halmaan hadalku ma jiro. Like to express, as Dr. Mehmet said, you can imagine having this, fantastic and exciting exhibition in here in Yunus Emre Institute. It's a clear reflection of our long-standing relationship with Yunus Emre Institute, and not only Global Somali Diaspora and Yunus Emre Institute relationship, but it also reflects the great relationship between the Turkish and also Somali diaspora as well. One of the key objectives of GSOD is to promote and advance the Somali culture, the Somali language, the Somali heritage. And that's why tonight we're here to launch this, event, which will be from 22nd until 30th of May. And as Dr. Mohammed said, it's taking when you look, the different artistic on display. I was looking today when we are setting up, and it gives you so many different emotions and reflection, and from the past, from the present, and to future as well. I would like also acknowledge, Bazi Busuri, which is obviously the secretary of Global Somali Diaspora. He is the mastermind of this, fantastic event. He is all, the backbone of Global Somali Diaspora. Without him, this has not been happened. But of course, if Bazi didn't have all the support from partners, from artists, from community key members, from family, from everyone, he wouldn't be able to do by himself as well. So again, we're very grateful, and we acknowledge all those who have contributed to this fantastic event, which will continue until 30th of May. And I would like to thank everyone who has taken the time tonight to attend this event. Particularly our Somali Deputy Prime Minister, I know he is traveling, and he shows clearly how Somali government values the Somali diaspora. And you can see that the Deputy Prime Minister was traveling in UK and came for commitment of the government, traveling tonight, but actually make that commitment to attend this. And we are ever so grateful, and including also our Minister of Education, which I think the Minister of Education actually is also responsible of Somali culture, of Somali heritage, and this actually comes under his portfolio. So we're so also absolutely privileged to have him also tonight here. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy it. And we hope we learn from these exhibitions so much. Thank you very much.
waxaan idin leeyahay oo kale anaga waxaan nahay organization oo magaciisa la yiraahdo asayid u dhigma ururka dhaqameedka bulshada Soomaalida iyo Talyaaniga waxaan nahay organization macallimiin ah oo wax ka dhigta jaamacadda ummadda Soomaaliyeed waxaan aan dhignana waxay tahay afka Talyaaniga waxaan kaloo wax barnaa arday kale oo jaamacadda kuwa dhameeyay iyo kuwa aan weli dhamaynin oo farsamo yaqaan ah oo iyo farshaxaniin ah oo kamid ah kuwa hadda maaragtay waxaan aad meesha u jeedin maaragtay soo ku bilano oo lagu soo bandhigay maanta aan kaga soo rarnay xamar oo intaan keenay waa mahadsantihiin Yusuf Institute waxaan yiraahdaa GSD inaad nagu casuultiin meeshaan aad iyo aad ardadeynina aad ay ugu faraxsan yihiin runtii in bandhigaan meesha lagu soo dhigo maxaa yeelay waxay u arkaan inay tahay wax aad muhiim u ah in ayaga ay sameeyaan waxay ayaga sameeyeen ay dareenkooda ka hadlaaya in ma aha wadanka kaliya ma aha xataa dibadda ay Soomaalida ka arkaan maasha Allah aad baa fursadana siiseen. Thank you so much.
Marka waa mahad celinayaa arrintaas runtii dadka Soomaalida waa dad luqado badan ku hadla anigana waxaan kamid ahay dadka afkooda way marka laga tago iyo afka Ingiriiska afka Turkiga ku hadla marka sharaf ay tahay inaan ka soo qayb galo marka wax yaraan ayaga ugu tuura kadibna inteedan xaggaas dhammaan aad u salaamay ustaadkayga wasiirkayga wasiir Faarax wuxuu ahay maalinta ugu horreysay jaamacadda iska qor ninkii soo dhaweeyay asaga iyo His Excellency Madaxweyne Xasan Sheekh haddana inaan isku meel ka wada qodbaynayno sharaf ay tahay intaas kadib bismillahir rahmanir rahim Darli 18 Bakamis Sayin Farah Abdul Qadir Darli Londra Turkiya Londra Fikal Jesse Darli Amerika Telmujila Dir مسافر لا هبل سيجيله محبة لا السلام عليكم Adım Abdülnur Dahir. Somaliler çok dili konuşan bir millettir. Türkiye'de bir atasöz var. Bir dil, bir insan, iki dil, iki insan. 2013'te üniversiteden mezun olup 3 tane burs kazandım. Uganda'dan, Malezya'dan ve Türkiye'den, Türkiye bursları. Bir kenarda oturup dedim hangisi bir tane değerlendirelim. Kimiz hangisi gideyim? Karar vereyim. Biraz zor bir karar çünkü o zaman da tecrübem yoktu. Kimse bilmiyordu. Ama o zaman da şu 3 ülkede Somali'de faaliyet gösteren tek Türkiye'ydi. O zaman. Uganda vardı ama Uganda Somali'nin Barış, Afrika Barış güçten katılıyordu. O yüzden çok fazla aktif değildi. Dedim Malezya gidersem ya da Uganda'ya gidersem çok rahatça bir yaşayabilirim. Çünkü orada İngilizce konuşuluyor. Ben İngilizce bilirim zaten. Konuşuyorum. Ama Türkiye'ye gidersem bilmediğim bir ülke, dilisini bilmediğim bir ülke, insanların bilmediğim, coğrafyasını bilmediğim bir ülke, hava durumu bilmediğim nasıl olacak yani? Biraz bana zor geldi. O yüzden şöyle dedi. Belki de risk alarak, koşarak Türkiye daha iyi olur diye düşündüm. O yüzden Türkiye projelerine okey, evet dedim. İlk geldiğimde Sakarya Üniversitesi'nde, Adapazarı'nda bir yurt yerleştik. Dilini bilmiyoruz, hiçbir kiminle bilmiyoruz. Hepsi yabancılar bir yerde. O zaman en zor yaşadığımız bir dil, iki insanlarla iş yapmak, insanlarla iletişim kurmak. Orada geliyorsun, Musa'sa tanıyor musun? Nereden geliyorsun? Sen kimsin? Ondan sonra dilini bilmiyoruz. Bir gün gittik, Çamur'a gittik, Türkçe dil kursuna gittik. Üniversiteden dönerken bir dolmuşla eve gidiyoruz, yurta gidiyoruz. Ama tek şeyi biliyoruz. Buraya yaklaşırken inmek var diyoruz. Ama fazla dil, Türkçe bilmediğimiz için yakın geldiğimizde birisi inmek var yerine inek var dedi. O zaman şoför böyle nerede inek? O zaman yani çok biraz zor oldu ama yine de insanların kültürlerini, sıcak anlarını, sohbetlerini herkes Adapazarı'na geldiğimizde bize iyi bakıyordu. Çay, sohbet her zaman bize yalnız bırakmadılar. Allah razı olsun. Şu anda şu ana kadar benim gönlümde taşıyorum. Türkiye bir gönül elçisi olarak için bir Somali olarak aynı anda da bir Türkiye vatandaşı olarak devam ediyorum. Türkiye iki ülke arasının ilişkilerini bir sürdürülebilir bir haline getirmek en azından 3 tane şart lazım. Bir, siyaset iradesi. Somali ve Türkiye arasında çok büyük bir siyaset iradesi var. 2, ticaret lazım. 3, halk diplomasi ya da halklar arası ilişkiler. Bugün şimdi yaptığımız şey halklar arası diplomasidir. İnşallah bu güzel sergiye ev sahipliği yapan değerli Yunus Emre temsilciler, Mehmet hocamıza çok teşekkür ediyorum. Büyük elçimize çok teşekkürler Somaliler adına. Çok teşekkür etmek tekrardan istiyorum. Ondan sonra inşallah böyle bir güzel etkilerle buluşma dileğiyle çok teşekkür ediyorum. Hepinize tekrar saygı.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm wishing peace and blessings upon all of you. I think it's such a beautiful time to be a British Somali, right? Not only this exhibition, but Culture House also opened the first permanent Somali space museum in the UK. And left, right, centre, we are more than surviving. We are thriving, and it gives me such joy to be able to represent Somalis as Birmingham's Poet Laureate. Birmingham's Poet Laureate is the first Somali, the youngest person, and the first Muslim, alhamdulillah. And it's only right because I come from a nation of Poet Laureates. So without further ado, I'll be sharing 2 pieces with you. And the first piece is an ode to the first poem I ever created. And it was a way for me to recontrol the narrative of the Somali story. Trigger warning for elements of death. Without further ado. Tell me what you see when I say refugee. What comes to mind? Is it the conversations of neediness or criminality or the burden of pain that they could never leave behind? See, I'm tired of this narrative and I'm tired of this talk. Let me put you on a journey and put you in their shoes and see how far you can walk. This is the story of Ahmed, part 1. Hooyo macaan, waan ku jecelahay. Wiil sharaf leh noqo is ilaali. Sweet child, I love you. Please look after yourself. Ilaahay ayaan ka yimaadnina, Ilaahay uun ayaan u noqon. From God we come from, and to God we shall return. Hooyo macaan, waan ku jecelahay. Taana ha iloobin. Ahmedow, wiilkayga, ilmaha iska tiraahdo. Sweet child, I love you. I'll be back for you. Wipe your tears. Ahmed sees his mother board that train from Ethiopia to Djibouti, away with his younger sisters, but at least his younger sisters are not left behind like him, no longer Qahutis, refugees. He's thinking this as the Ethiopian armed guards are thinking that this is going to get out of hand. We've got to hold our stand and push back against the thousands of refugees that have just fled Somalia. Looking around dazed and a part of him gone, a fist comes flying and all of a sudden more fists are flying. Unlucky mothers cradling their kids to safety because they couldn't make that train to safety. And now everyone is crying. You see that train left with more than people, as in people in a pitiful state you see in an Ethiopian refugee camp. And in that turmoil and hotness, Ahmed hears a gunshot and a whip crack in the back of his head, heart beating, people scream. Ahmed gets up and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. ويا معاه جعلها زانها. Sweet child, wipe your tears. It's the last thing she's ever said to her son. And now she wakes up صبح in the middle of the night, يضع المينس crying because she no longer knows where to find her son. Haben Warba, every night for 15 years she's thought back to that very moment where at gunpoint she was told that only 2 of her 3 children could go. So she chose her daughters over her elder son because guys find it easier to tell herself over again and again to numb the pain, but it's been a decade and it still hasn't been any easier. She searched for him, and something deep down within her knows that her son Ahmed is still alive. But every night, this warrior cannot help but cry. She's raised her daughters in the West, and they're all doing well now. But nobody talks of that brother that they've left behind in the gunshots and body drops now. Thank you, that's my one. Because I do a lot of community work. I'm rooted in community activism. And these are the stories of our parents and our parents' generations about the struggle and the turmoil they endured. And sometimes growing up, I would find labels given unjustly to Somalis and unjustly to refugees. So I like to put people in other people's shoes and challenge that perspective and reclaim the story. The second piece I'll be doing for you guys is a bit more of an uplifting one, for Somalis. It's called Lions. And I recently named it. But without further ado, I think it's perfect for this moment. Bismillah. Until the lions, 1 second, where are you, lion? There you are. Until the lions have their historians, tales of the hunt shall always glorify the hunter. Raised on free school meals, Hagbat and Hoya's du'as. Invaluable morals and carefully sewn up values, we come from a generation that fled and left a nation that was left to use their own devices. And they more than exceed. They more than excelled. Planted the seeds, put in the work. Failure wasn't an option. No one was coming to save them because they had to become the saviors. They had to succeed. They had mouths to feed. They had the weight of building new foundations whilst trying to repair old ones. Scratch cards on a Saturday just to hear their mother's voice. They had chill on a Friday just to hear the farhad in their mother's voice. And now, here we are, the product of read your adkars before leaving the house, of growing up between Duxi and postcode beef, so Hoya would not allow your brothers to stay out. We are the generation that grew up on hope. The generation that watched hope on TV and watched them repackage our story and tell us that they were hungry fishermen. The generation that grew up dreaming to be athletes and actors but seeing no representation on their screens. We are the generation of... We are the generation of aunties telling us, the generation of Marwal Basodo, come closer. The generation of dibjirkaas ka fogow, the generation of wariyaa fadhiga ka kac, wax qabso. The generation of luq marow, laasim laami buu ku soo dhacay. The generation of finding comfort in Hoya's cooking, but still craving a tutu, wings and chips for Bossman. Our story isn't a pretty one, but it's real. And we will never allow anyone to tell our stories for us again. We are the generation that watched our parents glue the cracks together. Then we grew from the glue in the cracks, the generation that found a new home between here and there, the generation that became what they couldn't see, and now we will forever control our story. No longer glorifying the hunter. We are the scriptwriters, the doctors, the engineers, the creators. We are the storytellers. And we are each other's saviors. The lion that is no longer silent. The lion that refuses to be silent. With faith and tawakkul in our bones, they should know that our achievements in so little time prove so much, and look how far we've come. They should fear how far we could go. So we are not waiting for them to celebrate us, no. We will start celebrating each other alone. We aren't waiting for them to celebrate us. We will start celebrating each other alone. We aren't waiting for nobody to celebrate us. We will start celebrating each other right here, right now, and alone.
Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I begin in the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Assalamu alaikum, Your Excellencies, very special guests, brothers and sisters. It's a real honour for me to be here. Actually, the VIPs really are these artists. They're actually the VIPs. I've already feel, as Jawahir said, I've kind of gone on an emotional roller coaster also, looking at these beautiful photographs and paintings, and can see the heart and soul in coming through. And when you feel emotional, you know it's done something right. And I certainly felt that. I felt sad, I felt joy, I felt all sorts of things in the last hour or so looking at all of these paintings. And it really is, as we heard just now, it's a really beautiful thing when young people feel able to express themselves, and for the rest of us to receive and accept whatever is coming for them. In that sense, it's a real honour. And I love the way today that we're all being given the opportunity to really celebrate Somalia right here in this wonderful city of London. And for you all and for me to be part of it, to be out and proud as Somali people here is very, very important, and something I think we shouldn't take for granted. We are surely in the most diverse city in the world, I think. And I know that our Somali communities here in London and all over the country play a really important, vital role. And as we've heard from all of the people that are speaking today, it's only going in the right direction in terms of the public service and the people that we're seeing in all sorts of sectors. For me, is very, very exciting. I've been feeling for a long time as a Muslim in Britain. I've been Muslim for 30 years now. I'm wondering, where are my Somali brothers and particularly sisters? And this is what we're seeing now. For me, it's a very exciting development, something we should all feel very proud of in our country. And it's a very bold expression, and that's a beautiful thing for us to see, and we all need to embrace that. But of course, none of us, even looking around at some of these paintings and some of the things that we know about in places like Kensington and other places, there are lots of challenges also, of course, and we're not naive to think that there are no challenges. And events like these are not meant to pretend that there are no challenges, but instead we celebrate and we stand together, and we have to be real about the challenges and what we're all going to do together to look at those challenges and how we can work together on them and be proud of who we are. And right now in the world, it feels tough. Day by day, things feel like they're getting more and more heavy. It feels overwhelming. There's a rhetoric out there of hate and division, which seems to be getting louder here in America, in Europe. But guess what? We must continue, as people like all of us here, to remember that there are far more good people in the world than bad, and that we shouldn't feel overwhelmed by what we're seeing and hearing around us. We have to stand together in solidarity against hate and division, and rise above it and not be overwhelmed by it, and not be beaten by it, and not allow it to win. And as Muslims, we know how important gratitude to God is. And I think we should all feel very lucky, given what we know about what's happening in the world. We should really feel very lucky, alhamdulillah, to be standing here today in a room like this with each other. So we need to use the positivity. You know, I love coming to things like this because it just keeps me going. It's kind of a shot in the arm in a good way. And the recharge of the batteries to really remind us of the good people, the good things that are happening, the hope among the challenges in Somalia, in here. We have to really hold on to that and use moments like this to motivate each other and lift each other up. So I sincerely thank you for bringing the Somali culture and continuing to bring it loud and proud in London and all over the UK, and very much part of our wonderful, diverse, beautiful Muslim communities here in the UK. And as much as I love my Somali brothers, I have to really give a special shout out to the Somali sisters, who really all of us know are absolutely the backbone of Somali communities here and all over the world. A special thanks to my wonderful friend, sister, teacher, mentor, guide, Jawahir, who really, for me, I don't know how she does it, remains calm and composed every time I see her. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for having me here on the event.
Türkçe mi anlatayım? Ya Türkçe anlatıyorum. Bunlar bu sergi Global Somali Diasporası'yla Yunus Emre Enstitüsü'nün birlikte yapmış olduğu bir sergi. Sergide hem Somali'nin kültürel ögeleri mevcut. Aynı zamanda Somali'deki üniversite öğrencilerinin eserlerini bugün burada sergiliyoruz. Yağlı boya tablolar var, fotoğraflar var, modeller var. Buradakiler daha çok, bu gördüğünüz standdakiler Somali'nin kültürel objeleri. Birçoğunun ismini belki ben de bilmiyorum. Henüz bu konuda bana da bilgi verilmesi lazım. Ama daha önce de biz İstanbul'da Somali kültür sergisini yaptığımızda buna benzer eserler görmüştük. Bunlar tabii bizim Türkiye'de de kullandığımız birçok objeye benziyor. Ahşap oyma, güzel işlenmiş kaşık ve kase. Yine biz Türkiye'de buna dibek diyoruz. Kahve dövülebilir bunda. Sarımsak dövülebilir. Zannediyorum bu su matarası. Bunlar da müzik aletleri. Nefesli bir esas. Bizdeki kaval ya da neye benzeyen bir çalgı aleti.
This time and with a tight schedule, and we thank Yunus Emre, we thank His Excellency Osman Atesh. He came even early. He was the first one to come. Barakallahu feekum, and thank you so much. There are so many people who came from Manchester, Bristol, Birmingham. Barakallahu feekum.